Hello everyone and welcome to the video. In this video we will be looking at the best silver farms for Albion Online in 2024. These include solo dungeons, open world mobs, gathering, faction flag rewards, crafting and soloing group dungeons. Now I have not included other content like Avalonian roads, mists because I never found any real consistent loot in them. I know that a lot of people like them, so if you want to do them, it's your choice, go ahead. Now, I think the best option for a new player to do is tier 6 open world mobs. Now, for this content, I'm using a 63k set. I am assuming that a new player can afford it, as you know, it's quite cheap. Now, for the reason as to why this is the best content for a new player, this is dependent on how you get your money from this content. When you kill any mob in the game, they drop you some silver, and when you pick up that silver, it's not in your inventory, but it is deposited directly into your silver balance. Now, what this means is that when you get killed by a ganker or any other random player happening to walk by you, you don't lose your progress or you don't lose your profit. So, from doing this activity, let us assume that I have farmed around 100k in like the first 10 minutes and some random ganker just happened to kill me. Now what happens here is that I still have my 100k but I lose my 60k set. So even while getting killed, I made a profit of 40k. Now this might not sound like a lot for a experienced player, but for a new player this is huge. Now this activity I believe will provide you with 600,000 silver per hour. If you do it with a nice set, it can give you 1 million silver per hour if your set is really good and it clears very fast. But with a bad set and normal luck, you get around 600k per hour. Now in this video I do get followed by some gankers, but they don't kill me. I did this content for around 27 minutes in this footage, and at the end of the 27 minutes the gankers were about to kill me, so I just left from the zone to the city basically. So yeah, this is the best content that you should be doing if you're a new player or a mediumly experienced player who can't access 8.3 stuff, all the endgame items. Now the another big reason for doing this content, just aside from the silver, is the fame. This also provides you with the best fame early game. So anything other than this that gives you more fame than this is tier 8 or tier 7 open world mobs, and they're quite tough to kill for a new player with 4.1 sets, as you need a reaver level to unlock them. Okay, right, I will see you guys at the end of this clip. I don't want to bore you guys with my constant rants, so yeah, see you guys later. Okay, here the gankers were about to dismount on me and try to kill me, so I just zoned out into a different zone and I used the teleport system to go back to the city. Now there's only 3 minutes left on the foot buff, which means I was doing this for 27 minutes. So I was pretty confident that this would not, affect the silver per hour calculations too badly, because it's just 3 more minutes. I would have gotten around 10k more, but yeah, whatever. Now after we go back to the city, let's see how much silver I got from this activity. I got 150k from silver pickups, as I told you at the start of the clip, just from killing the mobs. You get that from killing the mobs and picking up the silver. And the loot itself is not as high, But if you add them both up, it's around 250k or 260k. Now that's really good money for like 27 minutes. Now the next activity is tier 8 solo dungeons. These are the best activity to do after you have your tier 8 river unlocked and you don't really care about risking your stuff basically. So this is, in this content you get rewards in form of items. So if you die, you do lose your profits, unlike the tier 6 open world mobs. So try this out after you unlock your tier 8 river and you want to progress a little further. This will give you a lot more loot than the open world mobs, but it's more risky, right? Now, as you saw from that video, solo tier 8 dungeons are quite good. I did 2 dungeons and this is the amount of loot I got. It's around 500k. That is a little over a million per hour if you do it with a good set and if you're consistent with it. But you do have to keep in mind there are risks, and if you're okay with the risks, go ahead. This is a really great farm for not really new players, but player who has been around for a month. Now let's talk about faction rewards. This is possibly the single most important thing that you would learn in this video. A lot of people don't faction flag and miss out on huge rewards like what you are seeing in the video currently. These rewards are not something you have to actively farm for. Whenever you do any content in safe zones or even red zones, you have to be faction flagged to get these bonus rewards. Now, in my case, I got these winter bears. Each bear can sell up to a million silver if you just sell it directly. But if you do decide to craft it like I am doing in this video, you get a huge profit. Each bear can sell up to 3 million or even 4 million. And the resources that it takes to craft these bears, you can farm them in one day. If you do group dungeons or static dungeons, a single day of grinding can give you this. So every single day you can get enough faction points to earn 3 million to 4 million. But it does take time to actually grow these bears in a kennel, it takes around a week, but it adds up really fast. So just be faction flagged and don't ever do any content in red zones or yellow zones without faction flagging. Now, another really important aspect of Albion Online is crafting. Crafting is probably the most important concept of Albion since everything in the game comes from a player crafting it. So, one thing that is really profitable to craft is food. As you can see in the video, the estimated market value just keeps going up. For this activity, however, you need focus points. So if you have focus and you place buy orders for the ingredients you are crafting with, you are guaranteed to always make a profit. It might be a small profit, but you will make a profit. You'll never be in a loss. So try exploring crafting a little bit when you are experienced in the game or when you have disposable income in the game. Now the final activity I'll be talking about in this video is soloing group dungeons. I don't need any further introduction into this content if you have been a follower of my channel for a little while. I've made a lot of videos and guides on how to do this content, and I believe it to be the best content you could be doing if you are an experienced player with access to 8.3 or 8.4 gear. Now if you have an 8.3 or 8.4 gear, you can do these dungeons solo without forming any kind of parties. These are dungeons meant for groups of 5 or even 6 people, and you can just come in here and solo them, and you'll get the rewards equivalent to 5-6 people, even though granted the rewards are not that good considering they're for 6 people, but still you'll get around 2 million or 1.5 million silver per hour at the least. If you're really lucky, you can find legendary chests which can give up to 5-6 million. That's a rare drop though, it's not a consistent thing. But still, of all the activities I have mentioned in this video, solo dungeons are the best because you also get to faction flag while doing this. If you do group dungeons solo, you earn a lot of faction points which result in getting those bears I have spoken about earlier. So yeah, if you want really huge profits in fame and silver, solo group dungeons. Now I said the group dungeons were last activity, but skinning is actually the last one because it's actually really bad now. I did skinning for around 30 minutes and I got around 120k. So yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know what happened to skinning. I think it's just a bunch of bots overrunning the game right now. Skinning used to be really good, but it's not good anymore for a new character anyway. But if you have tier 8 skinning unlocked, you can make a bunch of money in safe zones by skinning tier 3 and tier 4 animals really fast. But unfortunately my character does not have high specs in skinning because it's quite boring, honestly. Yeah, that's it for the silver farms. I think I have covered every silver farm I know of. I excluded some content that I have showed you guys in the previous video, and I have included some new content too. So yeah, that's it for the video guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of the footage.